Obviously had this week the big issue of Nigel Farage and Coutts Bank and the outrage of them saying that the leaked documents showing why they'd closed his account down because of his political views.
Didn't align with theirs.
They said that, you know, his values didn't align with their values. We've got lots of this going on. You know, I think when Dame Alison Rose took over at NatWest, she said her top priority was going to be tackling climate change. We have lots of companies in the FTSE saying that a big thing about sustainability and all this. When I worked for Asda, we were mainly focused on looking after our customers. That was maybe seems an old-fashioned view now. I just wonder, what do you make of this trend of big companies sort of becoming more political? Is this something that investors are increasingly insisting upon from the companies that they want to invest in? Or is there going to be a backlash from investors from all of this sort of political interference?
This is all you see. There's three letters. It's become that this acronym of ESG, right? Environmental, sustainable, and governance. Basically, you could have that as a form of greenwash to actually say we're now doing these things because we're looking more politically, etc. We're doing the green things. But actually, how about just running your bank properly? You're not there to actually vet. Obviously, you've got to make sure you've got the customers aren't doing anything illegal. You know, are they money laundering or anything like that? Have you tried opening a bank account recently? It's quite easy for an oligarch, I think. If you actually go and open one for a small child, you virtually have to leave the child in custody with a bank to get them to actually do anything about it. So, no, banks should stick to what we're supposed to be doing properly, but don't always. But also actually just make sure that they should have good governance anyway, in terms of running a bank. Are they sustainable and environmentally operating in a positive manner? They should be. But it's not necessarily the way to run the bank. And certainly, actually trying to then make sure that they are politically acceptable by vetting all your clients and customers. No. That is not how you run a business.
And worse than that, I'd say confidentiality should be key in a bank. And if it's proved that actually it was Dame Alison Rose who gave the information to a BBC reporter that actually he didn't have enough credit in the bank, basically said, to move the story away. This is going to be a big issue for her. We've got to prove it yet, but confidentiality surely is key.
You could get fired from a bank for doing that, for releasing customer information. And frankly, it would be a very good example of sitting there saying, you play fast and loose with information on your customers, and therefore, actually, you're not being responsible. You're back to be ESG again. You're not actually operating in a...
I mean, given the damage to the reputation that NatWest has gone through over the last week, I mean, do you think her position's unsustainable?
Well, bear in mind, we are still the largest owner of this bank, aren't we?
So 40% of it.
Yeah, and you know, she's leading that business. If she's leading that business and not reading it properly, then I'm sorry, then she will have to go, because I'm afraid that is a really high-profile issue. This.
And the joke of it was the reputation committee for the bank that was doing this dossier. They couldn't have done a bank of 330 years of age more reputational damage, could you? The irony of it.
Gerald Ratner, isn't it, all over again?
Well, exactly.
Can I ask you a quick question? Because this is something else Phil and I have been talking about, and it's to do with consultants who've gone on strike over the 6% pay rise. However, their wages between £100,000 and £125,000, they then get taxed 60% rate. So really, are they wanting a tax reduction as well as a pay increase? What is going on here?
That was the proposal. You remember we saw a few months ago that they were trying to get rid of the anomaly that consultants were actually finding themselves effectively not worth going to work anymore because I'm going to be taxed more for it, therefore I won't actually earn anymore. That was an anachronism, and that has been ironed out. But it's making it look very greedy, isn't it? Because what it does do is allows those consultants to say, well, I won't do my NHS work because I've got a lot of private work to do here instead, which I can earn more money at.